Hi, I'm Feroz Khan, and welcome to Drag and Drop Low Code Unplugged, the podcast where we explore the game-changing impact of low code in software development. Join me in insightful conversations with IT leaders and passionate low code enthusiasts who are at the forefront of this digital evolution. Together, we'll explore how early adoption of low code is giving businesses a competitive edge on a global scale. We'll discuss its impact on software development, dissect its role in transforming businesses, and uncover the ways in which it's reshaping career trajectories. So whether you're a seasoned IT professional or a curious enthusiast, be sure to tune in as we share success stories and unravel the mysteries of low code. Subscribe now and stay tuned for a front row seat to the revolution that's shaping the future of technology. So let's go. Hi Jeremy, how are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to have you here and on as a guest.
Thank you for having me.
It's a
I've
pleasure.
been listening for quite some time, so I'm happy to be able to this time joining into the conversation.
Amazing. Well, yeah, thank you for listening and thank you for now being a guest.
Welcome.
It'd be good to just, start with you giving a bit of a introduction to yourself, who you are, where you're from, for those who may not know who you are.
Yeah, sure. So, my name is Jeremy. I've been working with Mendix for the past 5 years, and prior to that, I did a world tour visiting three continents. So
I
I
saw that,
recommend
yeah.
it to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And prior to that, also, I worked at a private bank as an incident analyst, where I also dabbled in very little into RPG
Hmm.
programming of the IS-400 mainframe from IBM. And prior to that were my studies, where
Yeah.
I did a master in international politics at the University of Ghent. I did a bachelor to teach informatics and history to second, high school kids. And prior to that was a technical education in informatics. I spare the details of the
Yeah.
Flemish courses, but it's technical, and it was a logical um, follow up of my younger years,
Mm.
where I've always been playing with the computer. So my father himself worked all his life at IBM. So
Wow.
with my two brothers, we were able to, at an early age, play with the computers
Mm.
and discover it. So going into informatics was a bit written into the stars.
Yeah.
But then, as you see, I go out of
Yeah,
IT,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but now I'm completely back into it,
Yeah.
and never felt better.
Amazing. And I saw did you teach in India? Did you go to India to teach?
Yes, I did. I did my internship there. So I
Okay.
taught informatics, I taught English, I taught history, mathematics, a lot of stuff I taught there,
Yeah.
and it was eye opening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then obviously you started working, like you said, you started working after that, after your studies. And then you took a nice long break to travel. Was that something that was always on the cards you wanted to do, or was it kind of you weren't happy with what you were doing, so you thought, let me just break away for a while and reassess my career?
Oh, it was not really a reassess of my career,
Mm.
because indeed, normally I wanted to go and go into the wide world just
Mm.
after my studies,
Yeah.
but I was co-housing at that time. And a friend who was staying there said, "Oh no, stay one more year or two,
Mm.
so you can put some money on the side."
Yeah.
And that's why I actually started working in Ghent at that moment.
Mm.
And then, a year and a half later, I said, "Okay, let's go into the unknown."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And again, I recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a bit older, uh, but just go for it.
Yeah.
The people the professional life is long enough. Go and
Mm.
enjoy it, and you'll see. You'll have a career anyhow.
Yeah, yeah. And favorite country that you visited?
I have three of them, and
Yeah,
each of them is a different continent. So the United States, of
yeah.
course, great nature.
Mm.
Uh, Peru, great
Okay.
culture and
Yeah,
very warm people.
yeah.
And Vietnam.
Ah,
Vietnam,
amazing.
yeah, as a country, it's incredible. It's not yet completely tourist wise
Yeah,
like Thailand, but
yeah,
you still have well maintained infrastructure while having the nature all around you. It's
yeah.
yeah, very very nice.
It's amazing. Amazing. That's a really good thing that you've done, definitely. And like you said, I think, you have your whole life to work and build a career. So if you have an opportunity to do something like that, I think it's definitely a good thing to do, and it gives you a lot of good life experiences, definitely. And then, obviously when you came back, so when was it that you were exposed to Mendix? When did you first hear about Mendix low code?
First time I heard about Mendix was in 2019, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in my years. I started at Ordina as a tester,
Mhm.
and within Ordina, you have what we call a Kickstart Academy. And during
Mhm.
that Kickstart Academy, you have 1 month where your soft skills and other useful skills are trained and made
Okay.
better, such as
Yeah.
presentation
Yeah, sure.
and Jira and so on.
Mm.
And during that time, we were with two, three other new recruits, and we were all going for the what's the name the certification.
Yeah.
He had a new certification, so we would study to get it too.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
so we got like 8 BPMN certification. We
Yeah.
had Scrum. We got everything. And at a certain point, we had a competence meeting, and two colleagues who were uh, dabbling with Mendix at that
Mm.
time gave a demo. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this is very cool. This is very fast. This is very easy. So I think it it didn't take a week before I signed up on the platform,
Yeah.
and I started doing the learning path. And before I knew it, I was telling my colleague, "Oh, Jonas, you really have to see this platform. It's incredible. It's fun and it's a bit technical. You'll love it." Guy, in the meantime, is also a Mendix expert and loving it.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. So
yeah,
both of
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. And
So
before that, had you heard of the term low code before that?
oh, half and half. I didn't coined it as well. It was not coined as low code, but uh, I'm sure you know Scratch.
Yes. Yeah.
Scratch
Yeah.
is a bit drag and it's drag and
Yeah.
drop. So I was used to Scratch because when I was little, I actually used Scratch for my first ever steps in
Okay.
programming. And I also used Scratch in India to teach
Ah.
the kids how to think analytically and
Mm.
show them that just by dragging and dropping blocks of logic, you could make a program.
Yeah.
So I think that was the first time I encountered low code without knowing it, that it was actually low code.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously with Mendix being Dutch company, and you're in Belgium, did that kind of give you a bit more reassurance? Knowing, did you kind of do any, when you were kind of consider, okay, when you were learning it, and obviously sometimes people do it, some people they don't, they do research into around, okay, if I do follow this direction, am I going to have lots of opportunities in the future, or is this something that isn't really that big and I'm going to be stuck in this company? Did you do any kind of research like that on your own?
On my own, no,
Mm.
but I did know that Siemens had acquired
Yes.
Mendix
Yeah.
for a lot of money.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but also because Mendix already had a proven track record. So they
Mm.
were working together with PostNL.
Yeah.
They were having great success stories with gemeente Rotterdam. I mean, Mendix, as you say, is Dutch, and
Mm.
the two companies I just named are Dutch.
Dutch, yeah.
But in the meantime, they're in the States, they're in Germany, they're in Belgium, they're in France,
Mm.
they're in Spain, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And the fact that Siemens is backing up
Mm.
Mendix does give me a how you call it a restful mind, a peace of mind.
Yeah,
It
reassurance.
does. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because it's not going to disappear. You see that, and now we're shifting more to why the need of low code. You're seeing everywhere IT delivery shortages. So
Yeah.
you see that the IT companies cannot deliver enough high coders. So it's a logical next step in the evolution of writing software, where
Mm.
you firstly had first, second, third uh, developing languages that are approximately zeros and ones, and
Yeah.
then a bit of not understandable for people like me, at least,
Mm.
gibberish to
Yeah.
the fourth and the fifth, where okay, it's human language, and sometimes it's even corrected for you by the IDE, to really, instead of how do I have to build it, what do I need to build? And that's also the big power of Mendix is, okay, focus on what the business wants, and Mendix gives you the tool to build it more easily than with any high code language. Of course, that comes with less control over the overall, but it's a pro and con, and yeah, to make an omelet you have to break the eggs. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
sometimes you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to agree to let go.
Mm.
As on the same part, if you want total control, well, then you have to agree that your project will take 5 to 8 times more time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now that you've been working with the platform for a while, what's some features or, some even newer features that have come out? It could be
Mm.
things that were already there when you started learning the platform, or
Mhm.
things that have evolved over the years that you've kind of most been impressed with and obviously love working with, and also you feel really helps when you're working on projects.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, it's three parts, and one is non-technical. So I'll
Mm.
start with the technical parts. The native capabilities that have exploded in comparison to 2, 3, 4 years ago. So where Mendix a few years ago was already capable of having a native application built once, and it spit out an iOS and an Android package, to very how to say, it wasn't easy to build the native application. I was already happy when I had a button and it did what it needed to do,
Mm.
and then I was able to export my package and get it installed, and so on and so on. So because you do have to remember, I'm not a technical guy.
Yeah.
I did not have any native capabilities in my portfolio,
Mm.
and while just simply following the learning paths from the native capabilities 2, 3 years ago, I was already able to have an application on my phone that I created myself. Today, I see colleagues who just started with Mendix, so well, just they're already 2, 3 years into
Yeah.
the technology, and today they're building native applications like that. So
Mm.
it's they're crispy, they're scalable, they look nice, and they are built quite fastly. So that's where I think that Mendix really is a forerunner on the low code platform. Uh, landscape. The fact that they were able to do that so fast. A second technical progress that they've made is inside the capabilities such as the workflow module. And so prior to that, you had to build your workflows yourself using microflows. And it was a bit more difficult to explain to the business, okay, if we go from this microflow to this microflow, this is what is happening. So today, Mendix brought the workflow module where you really have from top down a whole flow, and it's completely visual with the user tasks, with the different system tasks, integration with other applications. It's very visual. And I remember, and it's also the example I'll always use. Mendix was built to bridge the gap between IT and business. And in this case, I'm the IT. And I had a business who gave me an explanation. And during the demo, I was showing them. So we had a little bit of time left over. And I'm like, oh, let's do a little technical demo. So I love that because they don't expect that. And then sometimes I lose them. But if I can have them with me during 10 minutes, I'm already happy because it's a plus, because they get to see behind the curtain that is the IT curtain. And at that point, I was showing them this workflow. And at that point, one of the business says, hey, Jérémie, I think there is a mistake there. So just by looking at the flow, how I had built it, she saw that the information had not been correctly interpreted by me. So, okay, we switched it. We reran the program, and I said, okay, voila, I'll create a bug story and I'll commit it after. And by the end of the afternoon, they had a release in test with the correction that they wanted. And so that's the speed of that low-code platform that is Mendix. And then something that had been there already, but has exploded even more, that's the non-technical part, is the community. So the community of Mendix is growing by the hour, so to speak. We have the IDE in the meantime that can be used in Chinese, in Urdu, in all of the languages that you can imagine. So Mendix is really going worldwide, not only with the technology, but also with the community. So you see in different countries, in different continents, that Jan de Vries and his team is setting up meetup groups, is taking care of the community being well nourished. He finds the correct people to be in that country and kickstart the whole community thing. And when I started, for example, in Belgium, the community was non-existent. We had one startup meetup just before Corona hit. And so, when Corona hit, everyone went home, lockdown. And I remember that one of the first Belgian meetup, if I'm not mistaken, of course, I don't want to take credit if it's not mine. It is an online meetup that we organized about native application, but without the workflow. And in the meantime, I mean, yesterday I went to another partner who is also starting to organize meetups in Belgium. 2 weeks ago, another partner also in Belgium. So by now, we are already 3 partners who will be organizing meetups on a regular basis. So it's nice to see that, you're really not alone. And okay, they are the concurrent, but in Dutch we have a word that's called concollega's. It means you are a concurrent, but you're also a colleague,
Yeah.
meaning that
Yeah.
you are one community
Yeah.
and just help each other, talk to each
Mm.
other, get together and enjoy the big pie that is the
Yeah.
business in Belgium, for
Yeah.
example.
And it must
So
be nice for you that, obviously, like you said, in COVID, there wasn't anybody around really. And
yeah,
now you're going to these in-person events organized by three different organizations,
yeah.
building a network of people that speak the same shop as you, so you kind
Hmm.
of all
Hmm.
you're not having to, travel to Netherlands to associate with people within your community. You can do it within your own, you know what I mean? So you don't have
Yes,
to just, move out. You don't have to always, because obviously the user groups there are very popular and big
yeah,
community. You can
yeah,
at least still do things there's enough
yeah,
people in your own
yeah.
community to meet up regularly.
Definitely. But it's funny that you say that because I actually also attend regularly meetups in
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Netherlands
Yeah. Yeah.
because, well, our HQ of Ordina, Soprasteria
Yeah.
now, will be, well, is in Nieuwegein and just next Utrecht.
Yeah.
And meaning that I, yeah, when I'm there, I try
Mm.
to have my how you call it talks with my
Yeah.
colleagues
Yeah.
in Nieuwegein, and
Yeah.
then at the same time try to get or the day before or the day after to join a meetup
Yeah.
in the
That's
Netherlands.
cool.
And just
Yeah.
because there are so many,
Mm.
I often am able to attend
You
one.
can catch on. Yeah. That's really
Yeah,
good. That is really
yeah.
good. And speaking of the community, obviously you're an MVP
Yes.
for Mendix, so it'd be good to kind of know. Usually, that MVPs are not just given the title for no reason, right? So it'd be good to know kind of why you were selected as an MVP.
Oh, well, thank you for
I hope they told you why you were selected as an
no, no,
MVP.
yeah. No, but it's funny because I always forget to mention that an MVP. While a big part of my days, well, not big part of my days, but a part of my week is dedicated to MVP stuff, such as joining meetups, such as
Yeah,
organizing the meetups, but also joining into conversation to make the platform better. So joining what's they're called focus groups
yeah.
and so on. But why was I selected? Well, I've been organizing the meetups in Belgium for the past 4 years, um, and next to that, I was also active in going to higher how you call it not university but higher school, let's say
Yep.
university, it's
Yep.
approximately the same, and explain to well, the technical students there what is Mendix,
Mm.
what are the success stories.
Yeah.
Not only that, also in Belgium we have what we call the no code low code community,
Mm.
where I try to well push forward that community also when uh, they organized a congress or their opening congress. I was a key
Mm.
speaker there. So altogether, I try to evangelize the local platform that's Mendix. Uh, and I think that's the reason why. and uh, and
Yeah.
Mendix was happy with my work,
Mm.
and yes, so I got what's the name, nominated
Yeah.
to become an MVP. So right now, this MVP, how you call it, protocol on becoming an MVP has
Yep.
changed.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, all of that information is online
Mm.
on the MVP app. So
Mm.
if someone is interested into becoming an MVP, just go into MVP Mendix in Google. And in the
Mm.
meantime, that's also something that has changed tremendously is the Google result pages
Mm.
regarding Mendix. While previously I always needed to go into the forum to find my answers, right now I'm
Mm.
able to just ask Google
Oh,
or
amazing.
ask ChatGPT
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So this is also a big win
Yeah.
for the community. And you land on the MVP webpage where everything is written out and explained well by Jan de Vries and Ara, who is the MVP program manager.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And since you've been kind of working with Mendix, is there one or two noteworthy projects you can talk about that you've been kind of, your favorite or most proud to have worked on, and give us a bit of details about that?
Yeah. So I've worked at two big clients and then a few small ones. And my first big client was the federal government of mobility in Belgium. So they are one of the first, not the first, but one of the first who trusted Mendix as a technology that was able to replace a lot of legacy technology, such as Lotus applications. There we kickstarted with another partner also the Mendix capabilities from FOTMOB, so the Federal Mobility.
Yeah.
And by now, so Ordina was responsible for, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 applications that up to today are still in production and not giving any problems. Because I know we still have a colleague there who is in DevOps modus, who is taking care of them and upgrading them if necessary security issues are made known. So that and for Mendix and also for me, I think that FOTMOB was a big first step, because you also see that people who are working at FOTMOB who have key positions are very positive on the Mendix technology. And you see people like Jorgen Kossel who, well, if he can talk about Mendix, he will. And I think, of course, it's not always positive. You sometimes have a negative idea on the platform. That's totally acceptable. But then I would say that it is mainly because it was used for something that is not meant to.
Sure.
Or it was badly implemented. And say the technology is good. As they say in French, I would put my hand in the fire for it. So, but so that project in itself was a big one. I stayed there 2 years, and right now they're building applications that are looking very neat. I've seen also the UX UI change throughout the 2 years that I left also. So it's nice to see that, well, step by step, iteration after iteration, the product is becoming better and better. And another one that I'm working on. So I'm not allowed to tell the name, but it's a big pharma company in Belgium, and they are proving that Mendix is not a technology for only satellite application. We are building applications that are at the core of the pharmaceutical company and the pharmaceutical industry. So we are proving there that Mendix is a technology that can be used to build scalable, secure applications with a lot of business rules, with a crispy layout. People say, low code, you cannot do any nice looking applications. Well, no, that's not true. You just have to be okay with putting the money on the table, because in the end, building the application, it's 80% is done very fast, but the 20%, it's still difficult and prolonged. And in my eyes, it has also to do with a lot of the UX UI. So just invest the necessary time in it, just as you would in high code. But the biggest part of it will be already done by Mendix. You just have to add your own nice sauce of UX UI in CSS or JavaScript or whatever you want to use on your application. So it will still be much faster than traditional high code.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's proven that by now Mendix is a robust technology that can be used for, again, company core or industry core applications. So that's another one that I'm really proud of, also because the team I worked with was a very fun team, a team that I knew I could count on. And it's also the second time that I saw the importance of a UX UI in your team. So we had she was a game designer previously, and she joined Ordina, and then she worked on the project. Great personality, great person. I had what's the name? Kinesithérapeute, so someone who would mass your leg to get better. But it's not a masseuse. It's a and the guy also very sharp of mind. I had an ITer. So you see, the profiles within the low-code world is also very fun because you get to encounter people who you would not directly place into an IT world. You get to meet. I mean, the team at Ordina is it's everything and nothing, and that's also the fun part of having low code in your portfolio. There, where, for example, when I was talking about my first work experience at a private bank, and it was RPG. Well, all of those people were high coders and fun guys. But well, it's different with the people I'm working now because they're not high coders. Some of them are, and we do need them for specific integrations. If we need specific blocks to be built because Mendix haven't had the time to build them, at that point you can add your high code capabilities. Again, it's low code. It's not no code.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's amazing. And as you've been, working with the platform, and like you said, you're part of the feedback on the platform, as an MVP, is there anything that the platform doesn't offer that that might be a frustration for you that you'd like to see in the future?
Yeah, I've made some jokes about that with Danny Roost at Mendix, and I keep on asking them to build a AI who would document the whole logic with a click on the button, because we do see, especially older projects, that documentation, and that's then again the mindset of a non-ITer, is that the documentation sometimes lags behind. And if you could be capable of generating, so today you have the possibility to generate an HTML page that you then can print or copy with all of the names of the logical flows, so all the nano flows, all the micro flows, all the pages. Your whole domain model is written out with what type of attribute it is, how many characters length it has, and so on. So part of it already exists, but the translation from logic to text, it's a cumbersome one apparently, and that's something that I would love to see happening by Mendix. Yeah.
And have you had any feedback on that? Are they going to look into it for you?
I've had some smiles back. So I hope they're busy with something. We'll see.
I
mean, Mendix is working incredibly hard to accommodate not only the developers but also their clients.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah.
they're working day in, day out. It's incredible. I mean, we have Mendix releases every every month, something like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
or every month and a half.
Yeah.
And
I see all the release videos on LinkedIn.
yeah,
They're very, it's, what like every month pretty much there's
yeah,
something coming out.
yeah. And sometimes you have new functionalities,
Mm.
sometimes you have fixes,
Yeah.
sometimes you have something else.
Mm.
Uh, but they keep on working, and you do see that they also listen to their community. So
Yeah.
you have the idea forum where anyone, also non-MVP
Yeah. Well,
people that are using the platform can put their idea there. So
that's really good.
something, yeah, anything, and if it's a good idea,
Mm.
it will be propagated
Yeah.
on the forums inside. For example, if what I do is when I see something really useful, I upvote it, I copy the link of the idea, and I put it
Mm.
in our internal Slack channels. And I
Okay,
say, hey,
cool.
guys and ladies, um, here is a great idea. If you find it also a great idea,
Yeah.
go and upvote it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
how many votes
Yeah.
an idea has correlates with the speed that it
Yeah. It
will
gets
be
looked into.
implemented.
Yeah, 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 of course. Yeah, that's a really good idea actually. And as someone who's now been kind of working with low code for a while, and I don't know if you've come across people this conversation before yourself. If not, then that's fine. But there's still a lot of skeptics out there for low code, from traditional developers to
Mhm,
end customers who don't want to use
mhm,
low code for their, enterprise applications. What would be your message to those people who kind of still think, low code is, your little drag and drop tool for small time applications?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I do encounter them. For example, you have two kind of people. You have the educated high coders, so people who have been working with high code all their life. Sometimes it's 5 years, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 20.
Mm,
And okay, well, the 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 conclusion that I have talking with those who are 100% against it is that they did not try it. They have made their idea and they say, I will not divert. Even if you have good arguments, they're not listening. And you see that they are not listening to the arguments. So, okay, I mean, they will have enough work. Low
yeah.
code is not there to, how you call it, uh, replace high code. It's not a bonus, but it's complementary to high code. We cannot. I mean, every smart people on earth is saying this. You have too much need of software and you don't have enough IT.
Yeah.
And even if you say, oh, yes, but now with Copilot and all of those Gen AI, they will build application for us and so on. Well, go and ask a application, a ChatGPT or a Gemini to produce you an application in Python or whatever. Go and install it, and good luck because it's going to
Yeah.
break. And don't call me when you have to debug it because you have no idea what is happening. And and I understand that we say, okay, AI will make app development faster. That's true, but it will also make local development faster. So same, huh? But
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. 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 Same, but different.
And
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so that's the first part, and the second part is yeah, in it. Then you have the decision makers who need to decide, do they want to go within low code application development, and you see that most of the time, if they don't, it's not that they don't want, that it's more that they are not allowed, because on a higher level it is not accepted.
Yeah.
So even with people who are already so business who is already uh, convinced that Mendix is a great technology, sometimes they get a big no from above their
Yeah.
pay grade. So that's also a blockage. And then at that point, yeah, it's not me who will have to have that discussion with the C levels.
Yeah.
It's also above my
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. But in the end, we do see that the Mendix clients in Belgium, at least in Belgium, uh, they are spreading out. So what is them who are using it are happy and convinced and are building more applications.
Mm.
So it's only matter of time, especially for Belgium, that the Belgian market will be like, ah, low code is actually working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give it a try. So it's
Yeah.
a bit typical Belgium mentalities to wait a little bit to see that some technology or anything has a proven record.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have some
and,
use
and
cases.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they'll go. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be in within a year or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And just as a final note, kind of, obviously that you've been working with Index for a while now. Do you have any, and you're an MVP, so is there any other kind of personal aspirations or goals you have, or things you might want to, implement or do within Belgium, going forward for yourself in the future?
In Belgium, yes, of course. So I've always been a how you call it? I want the best for the world, huh? And Mendix has a few how you call it? Has a few programs
Yeah.
that are focused on being good,
Yeah.
being good, being
Yeah.
social. So
Yeah.
a few years ago, there was the Welcome app hackathon, and in other continents, if I'm not mistaken, it was Project Alianza,
Yeah.
and in another continent, it was another one, but I don't remember exactly.
Mm.
And the thing was, okay, let's build something for those social charitable
Yeah.
companies, and they don't have to pay the whole license
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The exact technology
Yeah.
technicalities I don't know, but it was a
Mm.
positive
Yeah.
vibe, and I
Yeah.
love that, and I would love to see it happen again.
Mm.
Being able to give back to the world a little bit more. So I'm waiting for Mendix, but also other partners are able to do that.
Yeah.
So, for example, uh, I know that Ordina in the Netherlands work together with at COI, it's the Center for people who have left their countries
Yeah.
because of multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Um, so we built an application with them for them, and those projects, uh, I think, are one of the reasons why I like also the platform is you're able to in your one person you're able to
Mm.
give back
Yeah.
so much because IT software development is not easy
Mm.
and it costs a lot of money. So if we can do something for those organization, why not? So that's
Yeah.
for me a big dot on the horizon that I
Yeah.
would like to fulfill. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, like you say, it gives you a sense of fulfillment, right? You know, you've got this skill that obviously you're delivering projects for companies with lots of money, you know, so
Hmm.
it's good to then use that same skill
Yeah.
to help people and change lives, you know,
Yeah.
which for yourself can, you know, be a really good kind of feeling and help you get out of bed in the morning, definitely.
Well, that's not necessary. I wake up very well, eh? No, but it's what you say. It's a
Yeah,
sign of fulfillment,
yeah, yeah.
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it was a pleasure to speak to you, and hear your journey and hear your
Right.
views on low code and Mendix. And I hope that we get the opportunity to meet someday in the future,
Definitely,
somewhere, you
definitely.
know, around the world. So let's keep in touch, and I
Yes,
appreciate the time.
same for you. And have a good afternoon, I suppose. Where are you
Yes,
in the States, eh?
I'm in London right now,
Ah, you're in
so
London back again.
not not
Okay,
not too,
so
not too
good
far from
afternoon.
you. Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Jeremy.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's episode, which is brought to you by ITRAC. We are a leading staffing firm that solely specializes in supplying both contract and permanent low-code professionals to organizations globally. Navigating the niche landscape of the low-code market requires the best talent, and we recognize its critical importance for our clients. Whether you're a company looking to strengthen your team, an individual seeking the next career move, or someone entirely new to the world of low-code, we're here for you. Our extensive experience and in-depth market knowledge enables us to quickly pinpoint the ideal candidates while offering expert advice and support at every stage of your low-code journey. Reach out to us through our website or connect with me directly on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to assist you. Thank you once again for joining us today. We'll be back next week with another insightful episode. Until then, take care.